Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias, and in today's video, I'll be going over all of the books on my TBR for the summer season. So I seriously cannot believe we're in June. We're already in the middle of the year of 2021. There are honestly so many books on my TBR at this point. It's never ending. I think I have quite a number of books to go over and show you guys, but again, this whole list is just tentative at most. So I'm pretty excited to go over some of these books in this pile because I've selected the number of books on my bookshelf that I'm most excited to read. Also, there are some books that I'll be showcasing that you have probably already seen a couple of videos ago in other TBR videos just because they got pushed back down into June. So here we are. But before we get further into the video, I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by Simon Teen and part of a paid promotion for Keeper of the Lost Cities series by Shannon Messenger. Simon Teen kindly sent over the collector set for the series, and let's talk about the covers for a hot second because they win. Fun fact about the series, I actually already read the first book of the series and I absolutely loved it. I read it a few years back and on Goodreads I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. I remember it being really fun, really quirky, and really whimsical, and I liked it so much that I currently own 4 out of the 9 books in the series. So I was just doing some light research, out of curiosity on YouTube for the series, and to my surprise, this series has a huge and serious fan base. If you search Keeper of Lost Cities on YouTube right now, you're gonna find a few videos where people have compiled TikTok, made compilation videos, and posted them on YouTube. I was so curious about that because I didn't think this series was as prominent as it was. So I was scrolling on TikTok about this series and I had to stop because I didn't want to be spoiled. So it kind of got me really invested and really excited to reread the first book and into the series again. Also, another surprising discovery that I found was that there's a whole channel dedicated to the series alone. The channel has over 7,000 subscribers dedicated to the series. I think that is just incredible and so cool. Already on my TBR for the summer. So the series itself follows our main protagonist, Sophie, who hides a very dangerous and powerful secret. She's a telepathic, meaning she can read the minds of other people around her. And so far, she thinks she's the only one because she's not like other girls. She's the main character. Until one fateful day, she meets a boy with the same telepathic abilities. So together with a few friends, they set out on a quest of a journey to find out more about their abilities, and in doing so, changing the fate of their lives and their world as they know it. So I'm pretty intrigued and excited to get back into the series again. And also another fun fact is that the series is also being adapted into a movie, and guess who the director is? If you would have asked me who I would have thought would be the director for the series, I would have never in a million years guessed that Ben Affleck would be the director. Ben Affleck! So random, but I guess it works. So the books have been optioned by Disney themselves. I think that's pretty exciting and pretty cool. If you guys are looking to binge a 9-book series for the summer, then look no further. I will leave a link down in the description box below where you can check out all the books in the series. Thank you again to Simon Teen for sending me the collector set my way and for sponsoring today's video. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the books. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and dive into the YA books first. One of the first books I do want to get into, Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the second book in the spin-off series that she's written for the Raven Cycle. I'm not gonna lie, I do have lower expectations regarding this book in general because I was sort of let down for the first one, Call Down the Hawk. I did like it in a sense where we're revisiting the world with these characters again. I just could not for the life of me care for any of the new characters that were brought up in the new spin-off book. We shall see if my feelings for those characters remain the same. I truly hope not. Speaking of the title and the cover in general, I remember this being a really funny discourse over on book Twitter because people were just finding it really funny how the title of this book was called Mr. Impossible. Didn't really fit in with the sort of theme or aesthetics or the title they thought it would be for the second book in the Raven Cycle universe. I didn't think so, but I'm honestly pretty intrigued, and this book is vastly shorter than the first one. All I'm looking forward to are more Adam Parrish scenes. That's all I'm really here for. Adam and Ronan, that's it. I really don't care about anything else or anyone else, just Adam and Ronan. But I will definitely get to this one soon. Alright, secondly is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. So I've already talked about this book previously, a couple of videos ago. And so many of you guys are actually interested in the reading vlog that I'll be doing for this book. If you guys don't know what this book is about, it's essentially about 2 siblings who fall in love. Yep, I know, that was my initial reaction too. Again, so many people in the comments are like, listen, it's layered and complex. It's not as black or white as you think, it's much more nuanced. And honestly, to say that I am intrigued would be an understatement. There are so many of you guys who have said that this book made you feel things, made you cry, that a couple of you guys thought this was one of the most beautiful reads that you've read. For YA, This one takes the cake. Definitely looking forward to reading this. So now we are changing our game and heading into literary fiction. Again, I've already talked about this book, and we'll also be doing a reading vlog for it, and it is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This will be my first Murakami book that I'll be reading, and I chose this simply because it has a really heavy dose of magical realism, and if you know me, I especially love that. I especially love reading that in books in general. It was between this or Norwegian Wood, and I've heard that Norwegian Wood is sort of more contemplative than anything. I'm gonna start off with this one first, and we'll also be doing a reading vlog for this as well. Alright, next for this one, I picked this one up at my used bookstore, and I'm pretty excited to get into this one because it won the Booker Prize of 2020. So, if you guessed it already, it's Shuggie Brain. I always say Bain by Douglas Stewart. I'm always mispronouncing the title of this book. I either pronounce it as Shuggie, but it's Shuggie Brain. I always say Brain instead of Bain. It sort of reminds me of a zombie book. I don't even know why. So this one apparently is another heavy book, very heavy in the feels, hard-hitting as well. I'm just going to read the blurb off from here. It says that it's an epic portrayal of a working-class family and a queer childhood from a masterful novelist. Not that I've read anything from Douglas Stewart before. The themes I heard most that's really prolific about this book is that it's about a relationship between a neglectful mother and her young son. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've also read only one other book that was nominated for the Booker Prize but didn't win. It was Real Life by Brandon Taylor. So since this book won the prize, I'm pretty curious to see all the qualifications and all the aspects of this book winning that prize. I have this tenacious video idea where I want to tackle all the books nominated for the Booker Prize of 2021, but I feel like that is a huge, almost impossible feat in of itself just because I'm such a moody reader. I read fast, I can admit that, but I'm just so utterly selective when it comes to picking the books I want to read. If it's a book I thoroughly enjoy, done. But if it's not a book that I really don't know about, that I'm not too keen on reading, it will take me ages to get through. Not too sure how I'll handle that challenge. Next up on the list is The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai. Again, we are pulling out the hard-hitting stops for the summer. So I heard that this book is sort of like A Little Life, akin to sort of the similar themes of life, humanity, friendship, all those dynamics. I believe this book mainly follows two people who may or may not be related to each other. We follow one character in the 1980s following the AIDS epidemic, and another character in the early 2000s trying to find her estranged daughter who may or may not have gone missing in a cult. So I'm pretty intrigued to get into this one, and I'm curious to see the parallel themes regarding A Little Life and The Great Believers. So for this TBR, I could not include some thriller and horror books. So the first one up being A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I was looking like on my bookshelf and this has been on there for a while now. And I'm picking this one up because of two reasons. One, I positively hated the first book that I read from this author. It was called The Cabin at the End of the World. Really interesting title, really interesting premise. It was a 1 star for me, I'm sorry. It honestly had nothing to do with the way that the book was written or anything, the characters. I just hated how the story went. I just hated how it ended. And you know what? My feelings on that ending is valid and very strong. The second reason is that this one follows a possession storyline. And personally for me, it's been such a long time. I think I've only read one book that dealt with possession and exorcism. I'm really excited to get into that, sort of like the supernatural horror elements of it. The other book that I read regarding possession and exorcism was a YA, I think it's a series or trilogy, but oh my god, it was god-awful. It was terrible. 1 star, negative stars for me. I'm trying to remember the title of the book. All I know is that it has a pink cover. It's called The Mercies. No, Merciful. Merciless. It was called Merciless. Oh my god, the irony of that title itself. It was so bad. But I'm definitely hoping this one ups its game in terms of story, but also dealing with possessions and exorcisms. So this one follows an interesting perspective. I think it follows a family dealing with their child having to go through an exorcism, as well as the aftermath of that exorcism, and then years later, someone interviewing a family member that has witnessed all these events. And more secrets and mysteries come up with that. So, alright, so for this next book, we are jumping from ghosts, demons, and possessions. We are diving into the Mariana Trench with killer mermaids for Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is actually the same author who wrote the Wayward Children series and one of my favorite books, Middle Game, Sean Maguire. But yeah, it is what I said, killer mermaids. So I saw a couple of my friends who have already read this book on Goodreads, and that got me kind of interested into it again. And so I heard it's killer mermaids, but make it really atmospheric and cinematic. So pretty excited for this one. All right, so this one, an actual thriller, The Night Swim by Megan Golden. So I'm pretty excited, albeit wary going to this one because people who know me who have read this book have recommended this book to me. Essentially, there are a few people who have read this book and have said, Elias, I think you will really, really like The Night Swim, who know my reading tastes and all that. I'm a little skeptical. I mean, I'm always skeptical when someone says that they know my reading tastes and that they think I will really like this. I don't know, maybe it's just some part of me who wants to convince them that they're wrong, that no, I actually really hated it, and you probably shouldn't recommend anything to me ever again. I know that's not the case, but I'm just going to read from the blurb that pretty much goes over what this book is about. A true crime podcast host covering a controversial trial finds herself drawn deep into a small town's dark past and a brutal crime that took place there years before. The end. So, pretty excited to go into this one. So I'm going to regurgitate what I've said in previous videos, is that I sort of want to get back into reading more thrillers. So I have some notable mentions here. Some of them are my most anticipated thrillers of the year. Some of them include Survive the Nights by Riley Sager, a YA thriller slasher, The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. We have a new Karen Slaughter standalone book. I am so excited. I am dying to read. I am beyond excited to read her new standalone because her last standalone, I believe, was Pieces of Her, and she only has 2 other standalones that I read and absolutely loved. Very excited again to dive back into Karen Slaughter. She's just queen of thrillers for me in general because every book that I've read from her, she does not miss. The way she writes her characters, her mysteries, her twists, it is just honestly how scary her mind works. So, but aside from that, last and not least, the book series, I should say, I want to get into is the Wheel of Time series, Book 1, The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This one is one big hefty boy. He is thick. The series in general is just prolific and beloved by many. There is a whole TV show on Amazon coming out with really prominent and well-known actors. So many fantasy lovers have included this in their repertoire, either one of their most favorites or best fantasy books to get into. One of the few facts that really interests me about this book is that J.R.R. Tolkien actually was inspired by some of the ideas that happened in this book for his series, The Fellowship of the Ring, which I have read multiple times, but to read a book that has inspired one of the most well-known fantasies to date, I'm pretty stoked. I know that there are 13 to 15 books in the series, and that is one of the projects I'm hoping to tackle this summer. There's no way I can read 13 to 15 books in this series, let alone this summer. I plan on at least getting through 2, but honestly, if I can get through this one in and of itself, I'm pretty happy. Not too sure what I'll be doing vlog-wise for this series in general. I don't know if I should have one video where I have my reactions and then one video where are my thoughts, or have separate videos for each book, which is honestly logistically impossible, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up and ask you guys is that would any of you guys be interested in joining me for a Twitch stream or something like that? Because I thought while I make videos like this and you guys watch me talk about books on the internet, I thought, why not make videos playing games on the internet for people to watch and see, I guess? I don't know. I'm thinking of creating a Twitch channel where I'll be streaming and playing games. I'm not exactly too sure how it all works. I do play some games. I'm not a gamer in any sense. I do enjoy playing a lot of horror games. I've recently gotten to Resident Evil 2, the remake, as well as Hellblade. One of my favorite games to play is Dead by Daylight. I actually have 1,000 hours into that game. But you know what? Even with 1,000 hours into that game, I still cannot for the life of me lead the killer on a chase that lasts more than 5 seconds. I kid you not. The killer's inside of me, within 5 seconds, I am down. Big help to my teammates there. But some other games I do play is Phasmophobia, League of Legends. I recently got into Valorant a month ago, and I am honestly terrible at that game. Honestly, if you want to be tilted or BM in any way playing games, I'm your buddy for that. Listen, I am terrible. Like honestly, the worst person when it comes to playing games. I don't know, I think it could be fun tackling that for the summer. I don't know, let me know what you guys think if you guys are interested in seeing something like that. I know that some booktubers have done this, like Monica and Chloe, and it looks really fun, so I kind of want to give it a try. So if you guys like watching someone constantly failing, dying, or leading their team astray, or getting other players tilted to the point where they want to FF or quit, I'm your guy for that. So, and that's all I have to say. Again, if you're looking for a series to binge over the summer, don't forget to check out Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all soon with a new video.